Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, if you're watching this as it goes out live, I am A, tired, and B, in Germany. Our regular viewers will know that I'm on my way to the world famous Nürburgring circuit in the company of the very fine folks at Volvo Construction Equipment. However, I didn't believe that was an excuse to leave you with nothing to watch during your mid morning break. So while I'm enjoying the Volvo hospitality and trying not to embarrass myself at the controls of some electric machines, we've pulled together some longer form content based upon just some of the conversations and interviews that we captured during Bauma 2022. We've featured snippets from some of these before, but several are brand spanking new, and even those that aren't have not been broadcast in full previously here on this show. So coming up, we've got conversations with the likes of KTEG, Dehaco, Bobcat, Hyundai and XCMG, but we're going to start with Alexander Sturm of Sennebogen.
Some years since the last Bauma, we were excited about how many people, how many visitors will come because due to COVID situation, due to some economic situation, projects, etc. So we are quite exciting how many customers will come, but we are very, very satisfied. A lot of customers, a lot of interested new customers are at our booth. So in total, I think today we have day 5 and great show, and we are satisfied, very satisfied with the show till now. To start, our product portfolio is we have a wide range of different types of machines, and we are famous, of course, for our material handling machines. But as you said, we also are a quite big number in demolition. And the demolition industry, as you know, has changed the last year extremely. The demolition business is growing and growing. Demolition and recycling is growing together because it's not only the demolition job itself, it is also the recycling after the demolition job of the recycling of the material. And in combination, I think we have the perfect product portfolio for a demolition customer, because we can offer him the demolition machine itself and also the material handling machine for the recycling. And we are very proud, and I'm very happy to present our very new demolition machine outside on Bauma this year. And I think it's very, very interesting and a great machine. It's our 830. It's a 48 tons machine. The bolt heat is 23 meters. The undercarriage, we have a telescopic tracks from 3 meter for transport to 450. We have, of course, our famous and very common Cummins engine, and in total we have 2 equipments till now for the machine, and we have our fully hydraulical quick change system to change the boom. The 830 is really a multifunctional machine, and outstanding definitely is our lifting cap, because this cap enables the driver to have the perfect overview on the job site, the perfect view to the tool, and of course the cap or the sitting position enables a very safe work, because the driver is not in the dangerous zone on the ground, but he is above 4 to 5 meters over the ground. And I think the cap, in combination of course with our other features, makes the new 830 definitely a very flexible machine, up to 23 meters, with all the features to have a very, very fast transport because of telescopic tracks, or for example our fully hydraulically deposit-able counterweight. The cap in general is we took it from our material handlers. We use our knowledge of the material handling machines. As you know, we are one of the leading companies or suppliers for material handling machines, and we use our knowledge and took it also to the demolition machines. And I think one reason why other suppliers don't copy the system with the lifting cap is that it's not that easy to have to bring a lifting cap on a demolition machine, because you have to have a very big knowledge, because the steel frame and the lifting construction has to be very strong, because, as you know, for the demolition jobs there are a lot of strong powers, a lot of forces going down to the machine and also to the cap, and I think this is not that easy to bring a cap like this on a demolition machine, and maybe this is the reason why other suppliers don't do that, because they don't have the knowledge till now. So the quick change system for the boom is our own system, our own engineered Sennebogen system. This means we offer different equipments for the machine. You can change between the equipments, and of course for quick change system for the tools. There we can mount different types of quick change system, like All Quick or other brands, but the quick change system for the equipment is our own system, and yeah.
Many thanks indeed for that, Alexander. We're going to stick with heavy equipment and with the demolition machines as well, because next up we have Timo Westweber of KTEG.
Period where we had no chance to meet our customers, and now we are back, so that's a great feeling, and also the feedback from the visitors is great. So yeah, it's really crowded, really busy here. So the KMC 750S is our latest machine. It's closing the gap in our demolition portfolio between 30 meters and the 50 meters. So it's able to carry up to 40 meter with a 3-ton tool. And there are in total 5 different boom systems available. So we are using the upper structure of the Hitachi, and then you already see the HD undercarriage, hydraulically extendable, and furthermore then we have an increased counterweight, of course, to be stable, and everything beginning with the boom is also KTEG conversion, so the hydraulic locking system for the boom, that's of course the S system, and on top you have the 3 boom cylinders, the so-called 3-tech system, which is unique at KTEG. In the beginning, it started with a joint venture between KTEG and Hitachi for development. Single development, nothing else. Now in the meantime, KTEG has a different meaning. It's now Kenki Technology Group. So we are part of Hitachi as a joint venture between Hitachi and Kiesel as the dealer. And Kenki, this means construction machinery in Japanese. Right over there, you see the ZX400MC, and that's nothing different than a KMC 400P. So Hitachi is standing that strong behind us that they label our machines as theirs. KTEG, we have the widest range of high-reach demolition machines. We begin at a KMC 340 with 18 meter high reach, and we go upwards to the KMC 1600S, which has a 16 meter tailor high reach boom, and which has an operation weight of around 250 ton. So you will find the right machine definitely at KTEG for any building you want to demolish. And of course we have a lot of experience. So we are in this market for more than 20 years now with our multi-carriers, and we are constantly enlarging our portfolio. As I said, with the 750S we closed one of the last gaps, and you can rely on the Hitachi quality, of course. So everything in the upper is still Hitachi, and Hitachi is standing for reliability. And this in combination with our engineering power, what has the experience of more than 20 years, you get the perfect machine. Yeah, when we look back to the last Bauma, it was always the question, how high, how high? In the meantime, the heat is not the crucial point. We are at medium heights. When we think about large machines, then we are thinking about heats at 30 meters, 40 meters. But there, the tool, what is obvious, making performance, there you need the big tool, and the machine needs to be designed to carry a big tool in these medium, not the super high. So the first smaller tools, which are related to the KTEG P line, what is a different story, but also highly innovative. There you can already get the first tools labeled at KTEG. And finally, you will also get the whole range, for example, of Dehaco, and also the whole range of Oil Quick. You will get from KTEG, also branded as KTEG. As a quick coupler, we're working with the best system on the market, that's Oil Quick. And we are exclusively connected to Oil Quick.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Timo. Excellent couple of machines, and we're going to stick with demolition as well. Of course, if you're going to do demolition, there's going to be quite a bit of dust, but thankfully our friends at Dehaco got you covered.
Absolutely fantastic. It's the place to be. It's the mecca of all demolition recycling tools in the world. So yeah, it's fantastic to be here. Yeah, obviously we've got our dust suppression, dust control units. We've got a full range of sorting grabs, compaction equipment, breakers, and of course our scrap shears, magnets, everything for the demolition recycling world. Now, this is our star because it is the most energy efficient dust control unit on the market today. Firstly is our method of creating a droplet. Traditionally, machines use nozzles. Nozzles require high pressure pumps to create a fine droplet. We have this is the rotor. This is effectively a disc that spins at a very high RPM, and that cuts the water into fine droplets. It's fully adjustable, so we can create 3 different droplet sizes. Nozzles have very, very fine orifices in, which can get blocked by calcium, dirt in the water, rust in the pipework, and then renders them useless. That means that every day they require cleaning. The rotor is almost impossible to block. The smallest orifice in the entire system is 3 millimeters. So anything suspended in the water can pass straight through without any problems. The main reason that we can reduce the power we require is because the fan speed, the maximum throw, is fully adjustable. We have 3 settings, so we're going to choose the maximum throw that the machine is able to do. For example, on the first day of your work site, when the building is very tall or the site is expansive, as the site becomes smaller or the buildings become shorter, you don't need to blow, you don't need the range. So you can turn that down and you can reduce the power flow. Just between the settings on this particular model and its highest setting with the maximum throw, maximum water usage, you can reduce that by 62.5% by going down to its shortest setting and using just 500 litres of water per hour. The water usage consumption is fully adjustable. If you need a lot of water on site for whatever your application is, we can supply it. If you don't, if you want to keep it tidy and clean, and you don't have the water supply, this machine still works perfectly. The rotor is the unique feature that we have. It reduces downtime, it reduces cleaning costs, it reduces power consumption. We have other solutions that can be offered with diesel generators. You're using less diesel per day, and you're using less energy.
Two of the most exciting stands at Bauma 2022, for very different reasons actually, were those of Hyundai and Bobcat. And we're going to start with Bobcat.
Bauma is back. T7X represents a lot of different strategies here at Bobcat. One of them is sustainability. You know, we really want to cut emissions on our machines. T7X is kind of a symbol for that. And the T7X is also a fully electric machine, an all-electric machine. And when, a lot of people say all-electric, when we say all-electric, we mean all-electric. There are no hydraulics on board, very few liquids that go on the machine, it's a coolant, and all the hydraulics have been replaced by actuators or drive motors. It's fired by a lithium-ion battery that powers up the whole unit. So when we say all electric, we really mean all electric here. The T7X is meant for an environment. Now that environment could be places like where you cannot use diesel machines, or places where you have ESG goals or regulations. So it really ranges from end customers to big rental companies. We've had interest from all over the place. It's really coming from everywhere, honestly. We did think initially it would be places where you have regulations, but it is actually coming from everywhere. During COVID, a lot of companies, as you said, did cut back on innovation and R&D. We put our foot on the gas pedal. We said, you know what? This is a time where we bring people together, even if it was virtually, and work on projects that we probably didn't have time to work before, and put them in top gear. This is a result. We're working on autonomy. If you've seen the recent news, we're working on autonomous mowers. We're working on radar sensors that help us achieve autonomy. So there's a ton of stuff that's actually coming out. We've had the largest launch of products in the history of the company in the last 2 years. We're just getting started here at Bobcat.
Sorry about that, bit of a technical issue. Don't forget, we've got a feature-length interview with another member of the Bobcat team coming very, very soon. We'll be featuring that, well, part of it on the Breakfast Show at some point in the very near future, but we'll also be featuring it over on our YouTube channel. Now, our penultimate film comes from the fine folks at Hyundai Construction Equipment. We meet at last.
Finally, great.
Bauma 2022, you must be incredibly excited to be here.
The show is just fantastic. We're blown away by the interest of customers, by the positivism of dealers, and it's been overall just fantastic to see how well we have been perceived as a brand, how much praise we received for the stand, and overall business is going extremely well, unexpectedly well, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, we've just come out of a global pandemic, and yet Hyundai just carried on innovating and innovating and innovating, and we can see that outside. You guys just didn't take your foot off the gas at all, did you?
No, I think for us it's exactly the right time to prepare for future growth. We now need to bring everything in place that we can prosper and grow once everything will be back at full speed. We're honestly currently are at full speed, and we'll never stop innovating. We will never stop moving forward, because we think this brand can do much more. This brand deserves a better position in the market, and that's what we're all working for very hard every day with a fantastic team here at Hyundai Construction Equipment.
This Bauma to me feels very different. I've done 8 or 9 Baumas now. This one feels very different in that I feel like we're at a changing point, with the advent of electric machines, hydrogen machines, telematics. Technology seems to be playing a very, very key role, and Hyundai is really embracing that, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. We've really put a big focus here on our tech zone, which is out there in a separate tent, in which we are showcasing all the latest technology that we have in-house, and that will definitely function as a game changer for us, but also for the industry as a whole. And I pretty much share your opinion. I believe that Bauma in 3 years' time will look completely different. I think we will less talk about machines and heavy equipment and metal and hydraulics, but much more about efficiency gains, about smart technologies and how it gives incremental additional value to our valued customers.
I'm sometimes concerned that I live and the manufacturers live in a kind of bubble. I get very excited about electric machines and hydrogen machines and telematics and all that kind of thing. Is the market, is the average excavator operator really ready for that kind of technology yet?
Well, I can't invite you to spend the next hour with me down there at the stand. We will run into plenty of customers that are very excited about the technology, and which can already imagine several situations in which they will use our technology in future. In fact, we have several customers that have asked for being the first one to try out our hydrogen machine out there. Very seriously asking, we want to be your first customer for that machine, because sustainability is at the top of our agenda nowadays in our company. Specifically bigger companies, they are very much after this technology. I've been talking to several key accounts yesterday that told me that they have set up several sustainability departments within their companies. And of course, these departments are extremely interested in zero carbon emission technology like our hydrogen excavator out there.
We find ourselves in a slightly strange position in that Hyundai is effectively leading technology. You've produced a machine that can run on hydrogen, and yet to actually get the hydrogen to go in that machine, that's not quite so easy. You're that far ahead of the market, aren't you?
We are. I can really proudly say we are, and I think this really differentiates us from many others out there, basically from everybody out there. I think Hyundai today as a group, as a whole, is in a unique position, and we want to really harvest from that. all the technology needed to not just build a hydrogen machine, but also to own the entire value chain of hydrogen, from the production of green energy, to the production of green hydrogen, to the logistics behind hydrogen, shipping hydrogen across the ocean with big tankers, building the infrastructure to supply hydrogen to the customers, not even mentioning our Hyundai Oil Bank, our company-owned fuel station company, up to the level where we built the machines to consume the hydrogen. I think we could own the entire value chain here at Hyundai, and I think in that position we're really completely unique on the market. No one else is anywhere near that. But Hyundai, as a company as a whole, with all its division within the group, is really able to own that entire value chain.
You mentioned Bauma 2025. Where do you think the market will be? Where do you think Hyundai will be by then?
Well, market-wise, it is overall expected that we might have a certain dip now in the year to come due to the known reasons, but overall the industry is supposed to grow constantly over the next 3 to 5 years. So we're pretty confident that markets should still be healthy also at next Bauma in 3 years' time. Where we will be, well, in a different situation. That is definitely the plan. We want to grow business, we want to grow market shares, we want to professionalize the network. We will come with more machines, new machines, more clever and smart machines, and also new technologies. There's a lot of stuff in the Hyundai pipeline, and my expectation, my wish is really that Hyundai has uplifted its brand presence, its market presence substantially until Bauma 2025.
In terms of technology, we find ourselves in a fairly unique position now, in that with the advent of telematics and being able to monitor machines remotely, you can draw upon that data to really understand, perhaps better than ever before, the real specific needs of each customer. How is that influencing the way that machines are designed and developed?
Well, of course, the digitization of machines is moving forward and forward. And now I think we, as well as our competitors, we're in a situation where we need to understand how we can really generate value out of that technology that is in the machine already since some time. I'm talking about machine diagnostics, I'm talking about machine efficiency, and customers start to really understand how they can use that to be more efficient, to work safer, to work smarter, and to be more profitable. And well, that's at the core of our activities. We want to make our customers more profitable and thereby binding them to our brand.
I guess the ultimate aim, or the ultimate position with technology, is perhaps autonomy, autonomous machines, that obviously without an operator. That presents an ethical problem, doesn't it? You're potentially developing machines, not specifically Hyundai, but the industry could potentially produce machines that render man obsolete.
Well, that could certainly be the final evolutionary step. Today, I think that we should look at an interim step where machines operate remotely. We're showcasing something in our technology zone where we're covering remote controlled machines. And I think we're not that far away anymore that you can dig from home, basically, having operators operating equipment from home. Of course, the ethical questions have to be answered, and how far you allow artificial intelligence to operate machines, how about safety and regulations. All those things still need to be tackled, but technology-wise, I think we're not that far off anymore.
Going back to the subject of future fuel, is hydrogen the answer? Is electric the answer? Will we end up with a dual source of fuel, do you think?
Yes and no. We're showcasing not just a hydrogen machine, we're also showing an electrified mini excavator here at Bauma. I think we have to distinguish between compact equipment on one hand and heavy equipment on the other. We pretty much believe that for compact equipment, electrification is also a solution. But the bigger the equipment, the more difficult it will get to provide hydrogen on the construction site, to have the infrastructure ready to fuel machines wherever they are on the field. That is why we definitely follow the course of hydrogen for bigger machines, for heavy machines from 12 ton and upwards.
There's a slightly strange thing, and I've never understood this. Compact machines, electric, the bigger equipment, hydrogen, and yet a lot of mining equipment already runs on electric. I've never quite understood how that came to be.
Well, but mining equipment is usually cable wired to some electricity source, whereas the question is, how do you want to load a 30-ton machine somewhere on a remote construction site? You can use a diesel generator, yes you could, but then that's pretty paradox, because the ecological footprint would still be as bad as it is today. Yeah. With hydrogen, however, it's a completely different story. You can basically bring the fuel, the hydrogen, to the construction site, similar way that you're doing it today with diesel. There's no big difference in there, and that's why we believe the bigger the machine, the more remote the workplace, the more sense it makes to use hydrogen instead of electrical powered machines.
Just going very quickly back to the electric thing. Electric seems to give us the opportunity, or I think it's going to present a challenge in teaching operators to operate in a different way. Obviously, when the machine stops, it's stopped, there's no power being consumed. But that monitoring of charging levels and that kind of thing, that's going to place an additional demand on operators, isn't it?
Right. I think new technology always asks new capabilities, different ways of doing to operators. But it's also true that many customers are telling us they need more digitalized, more electrified machines because winning operators is a big issue across Europe. And the more digitized the machine, the more electrified the machines, the more young people can find themselves into the role of machine operators. And that is why, yes, a little change in capabilities that might be required, but at the same time, the job might become more attractive again because of all the technology that we're building into our equipment nowadays.
Okay, and final question. Fast forward, it's Bauma 2025, it's the opening day. What does Hyundai look like?
We're bigger, we're better, we'll be closer to customers, we'll have a better presence on the market, and we will be more seen by customers, by the industry, by everybody than we're seen today.
Look forward to seeing that. And so we come to our final film of the day. This one features an exclusive interview with a key member of the XCMG team, and it's on the subject of autonomous machines. Now, while some equipment manufacturers are now coming to terms with the notion of autonomous machine operations, XCMG is already on its third generation of development. Listen to this.
Autonomous machines. You see, today we bring one, XS125. He is one of the autonomous machines, a member of the cluster. Yeah. In China, we have so many job sites. We have to test, and we also sell the machine to the customers. We started this project in 2016. Why we do these autonomous machines is because we do an investigation for looking for the next generation, where is the direction the road construction machine it is. And we found 4 reasons. The first is cost. People always want to reduce cost. You know, the job side means time means money, and job side means money. And the second, efficiency. You know, efficiency means the time. If you spend 1 year to finish a job site, it costs, for example, 1 million. But if you spend half a year, that means you can save a lot of money. And the second is the cost. First is cost. Second is efficiency, and also is quality. Quality for the especially the road construction is very important, because if you drive a car with your family, in the car you can feel in the road. The evenness means the quality, and also if quality is not so good, the lifetime of the road will go down. And the last is very important is the safety, because we can see the road machinery, they work. So many people around the machine, they have to solve some problem of the material, and also the machine have a driver operator there. So if no man drive in the cabin, we can reduce the risk of the job site. This is the 4 reasons why we do autonomous machines in the 2016.
You mentioned the word cluster. Explain to me what the cluster is.
Oh, the cluster. The story can start from 2016. The first generation we do autonomous machines only 1 machines, because we do soil works only 1 machine in the job site, or the dam, or the airport. 1 system control 1 machines. We give the parameters, then the machine can autonomous work in the job site and follow the parameters, the setting parameters. Then after finish the work, the machine will send a message to the operator, I'm okay, I'm finished. This is the first generation. And the second generation is cluster. It means, so you know, for road machines, always paving road. A paver in the front and some tandem roller or tire roller will follow the pavers, because where the area paver do is the roller have to compact. Then we call it cluster. The cluster have master and the sleever. Master is the paver. He knows the area where the roller have to compact, and the roller will follow the paver. A paver know everything about the job site. So he sends the message, sends the order to the sleever, how to pave, how to compact, how many times you have to pack, and like a conductor. So this is cluster.
You've mentioned compaction. Compaction is a very complex business. In traditional compaction, you're relying upon an operator to look at it and to feel it and to get an idea of whether they've achieved the level of compaction.
Yeah.
You're doing that autonomously. How does that work?
A good question. Let's go to the third generation. This year, we release the third generation of the cluster. You know, the quality must be achieved by the system. Normally, the customer use traditional equipment. The quality is the operator's function. You know, the operator must take responsible for the quality. But if no man drive, the machine must know the material's condition. So the third generation of autonomous system, we add so many sensors. The sensors is not for the environment to protect people, but also very important thing is to feeling the material situation and know now the road, the material need how many times compact, and then send the order to the roller. The roller know the material situation. This is why we release the third generation for feeding the material. Mm-hmm.
You've done 3 generations in a very short space of time. Mm-hmm. Does that mean there's a 4th generation just coming down the line?
We start this autonomous project at the year 2016, and the first generation we release is 2019. So we store so many technologies before we release the first generation, and we release the technology step by step, because you know autonomous machine must be safety. So we test every details. We test every step of the autonomous machines to make sure the machine is safety, make sure the job site is safety enough.
There is always that question about autonomous machines that mean people are going to lose their jobs. I know that the situation is different in China, but here in Europe, you still require a person in the cab of the machine.
Yes. In China, we don't have the limitation of the road construction machines for autonomous. So this year, we have 17 job sites already use autonomous machines. And in Europe, you know, the CE certification is limited. The driver machine cannot work without driver in the cabin. So, if this what the autonomous machine means, we are working on this to do some standard to push the technology. Maybe we can start with a safety direction for autonomous rollers, and then for pavers, and then to the cluster. Then if CE, you know, it's a government, then he allowed this technology to the job site. We can push this kind of technology use in customer and job site. Mm-hmm.
My final question, the autonomous machines that you have here have cabs on. We've just said that you will have people in the cabs. How easy is it to switch from autonomous to usual regular operator?
A switch.
Switch.
A switch is very easy. And for example, if you are operator, go to a job site, then the area you want to compact, you can add the position parameters, and then the machine can follow your order. And if you want to drive yourself, one key, switch to normal mode, then you can drive. So that's why we use a cabin in the autonomous machines. The people can choose.
I realise that you're the expert on the compaction or the road machinery side of things, but the fact that XCMG now has autonomous capability, do you see that being applied into maybe excavators and wheel loaders and that kind of thing?
For the other machines, for example, excavator, we now we do a assistant system, and then the next step may be assistant second generation, and then step by step. Then I think in the end we can achieve autonomous. But the first step is assistant, to help the driver to dig, you know. We already have a 3D system for the excavator. So, for example, if a job site have a modeling, you know the modeling of the job site, the construction job site, then the design company will send the modeling data and transfer to the machine's language, and then the machine can know where I have to stop, where I have to a little bit dig, seek deep, or get back the digger. This will help the operator for the first step, I think. Then we maybe give the machine more ability to help the operator step by step. And we also have so many other machines we use assist system.
Okay, if you're still watching, many thanks for sticking with this slightly odd show. I'm going to be back on Monday with tales of Volvo and the Nürburgring, and probably my inability to operate electric machines as well. Until then, stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a great day and have a great weekend as well. I'll see you very, very soon. In fact, I'll see you in a couple of days' time, but I'm going to play you out with this.